Pull my panties to the side. Hello, y'all. I don't know if y'all are watching on YouTube or on Facebook or where y'all watch, but I want y'all to share this video because it's going to be some real good shit. I just couldn't hold this in, man. I have some stuff I want to talk to y'all about right now. Right now. All right, y'all. I want y'all to share this because I got some shit I want to talk about. This is if you have ever dealt with abandonment issues, I need y'all to share, like, do all of that shit. If you have ever dealt with that, if you're out here dating, trying to figure this shit out, if you try to rekindle some old fucking flames, just let me know. Okay, so I want to tell y'all about some real shit this has been happening and I've been loving it. Okay, so thank you, Daryl. Be sure y'all comment and shit like that. Be sure y'all share this video for me because I really want to it's just really important shit I want to share. So, I've been back in America since, I don't know, for like a month and a half now. And it's been really interesting because before I came back, all of your old men who you've been talking to when I've been overseas, they love me. They can't wait to see me. They want to eat my pussy. They want to buy me this. They want to do all that. All of those things, that they were saying. And so, of course, you come back and, you think you can rekindle the flame. Well, I wasn't really feeling any of them like really that strongly, you know what I'm saying? Because it's just something about going back to old niggas that never quite works out. And y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, but like in theory, rekindling the old flame sounds good. But every time I've tried to rekindle the old flame, it just really makes me see why the shit never worked out in the first place. But this is so relevant to my healing. Okay, so I went through a breakup in South Africa, so I'm here now. So throughout this time that I have been back home, I have been blocked. One of the dudes that just couldn't wait to see me and all this stuff, he ended up blocking me. I got kicked out of this dude's house. Just last night, this dude told me to kick rocks because I held him accountable. I told him how I felt about something. Even before I came back home, this other dude just shut down emotionally. I feel like because I'm someone that has I used to have strong abandonment issues. And if you are someone who deals with abandonment, it doesn't matter why something ends. It doesn't matter whose idea it was. Being left, it's this whole dramatic thing for you. It's so painful. It just makes you feel bad about yourself, no matter whether you did something bad or wrong, because the thing is, why do people keep leaving, no matter what it is? So even if I was to say, I'm going to leave you, Tyrone, and he says yes and just leaves, that's still abandonment for me. I don't give a fuck if it was my idea or not. And you have people just leave. So I feel like, coming out of Cape Town, emotional abuse, all that shit, really being around my family again was great. But what I can say is I can see my growth. Like, they say hit dogs holler. Well, my dog ain't hollering no more. My dog is purring and having a good time. So I'm going to give y'all some concrete examples. I'm going to make these like relatively quick because I don't want this live to be so long. So, before I even came down here, I had this one dude who we reconnected. He told me he missed me, he regret what he did, saying all that shit that sounds good, you know what I'm saying? And then we had a slight disagreement. It was something, I don't even want to give you the details. It was a slight miscommunication. And I'm just simply saying, this is how this made me feel, and this I would like for you to do what you say you're gonna do. And he, was the type of person that, the type of these men that think they could just say something once and shut a conversation down. And it used to be very triggering for me, for men to do that to me, for me to be vulnerable and to a man, and the minute he say what he got to say, honestly, that's annoying no matter who I'm talking to. If I'm talking to you about something, hey Chris, if I'm talking to you about something and I'm telling you how I feel and I'm not coming at you crazy and you just can't handle any kind of fucking conversation about anything, we have no moving forwardness. Like, it's no chance of us being friends, business partners, lovers, or whatever. So this dude I met in Colombia, it was a stupid little back and forth thing. And I really thought he was somebody I could evolve with and grow with, but he just ended up kind of shutting the conversation down after he said his one thing. And that really got on my nerves for a while. Okay, so that's one rekindled flame, and I was dumped, and I'm being very dramatic. I really wasn't dumped, but essentially I'm being very, forward with that shit because I like it. I love being dumped. I love being left. I love it when dudes decide to leave my life. I love it when I decide to leave. I'm I'm not imprisoned by this whole idea that somebody decided they don't want to be in your life means something bad about me. It does not mean anything bad about me. Somebody's unwillingness to communicate is not my fault, problem, or fucking issue, my nigga. And for years I would internalize that, but I'm not doing it no more. And I was proud of how I handled the situation last night. So I'm going to move to that. So we had that situation. Then we had another dude, the dude who blocked me. I mentioned that a couple of weeks ago. Hello, Glenn. This dude blocked me, right? Because I was no longer entertaining him. Long story short, you talk about how you want to see me. I've been in Atlanta for 2 weeks. You live in the same city. For me, it's no excuse. I'm not like into excuses anymore. Like, I'm just not the same person that I was. Like, words, I promise you, words, somebody saying shit to sound good used to be enough for me, but it's just not no more. So when you talk about how you miss me, all that shit, and then we make plans, you don't really follow through with the plans, and I was just tired of that shit. So basically what I told him was, I'm tired of you. I'm tired of, you ain't talking about shit. You live in the same city. I've been here 2 weeks. Oh, I was working. That's why I don't like niggas with jobs. You shouldn't be working. You know what I'm saying? You should have past residual income. You should be able to come and see me. You know what I'm saying? But the whole thing is, even if you do have a job, I don't like excuses. Like, so the whole thing I told him how I felt. I'm like, look, this is fucking lame. You ain't never talking about shit. You never are talking about anything. Like, we're in the same city. You be doing all, then you gonna be hollering about how much you miss me when I leave the country again. I'm a fucking unpredictable motherfucker. I will book a ticket and you'll never see me again. So you have to literally catch me while I'm there. And if you're doing all this yapping and you not talking about shit, then what the fuck are you? You need to be on my dick. You need to be on my dick. If I'm someone who's never in the fucking country and you get opportunity to spend time with me, you need to be on my dick. If you want me on yours, it's just how it goes. So I told him how he felt. He was like kind of laughing or whatever. And then all of a sudden after that, he wants to be attentive. Well, I'm no longer attracted to men who I have to chase. Like, that's not exciting to me anymore. Like, I'm not excited to men who only talk to me when I'm complaining about not getting attention. Like, that shit is not, it's not for me no more. So I stopped entertaining him altogether, and then he blocked me. So he sent me a message saying, well, I'm too grown to be ignored, so I'm going to block you. All right, and I didn't give a fuck. And that was a huge step for my abandonment, because remember what I said in the beginning of the video. It doesn't matter when you have abandonment issues. It doesn't matter whether the dude is good for you, whether he's right for you, whether he's what you want. It doesn't matter. Him staying around is what gives you your worth and your validation. Him leaving means something's wrong with you. I don't care what I don't care what he did to deserve getting left. It doesn't matter. If something's over, you did it, you're bad, you're unworthy of love. It's going to always be that way. That's the rhetoric that goes on when you have abandonment issues. You know what I'm saying? Hello, Andrea. So I'm like, okay, I'm finally seeing shit like a logical fucking person. Like, I'm finally getting out of my Pisces fantasy world shit. It doesn't matter if this nigga blocks me or not. He wasn't around anyway. And that may seem like a simple conclusion, but it wasn't that simple for somebody with abandonment issues. It's not that simple with my history. It's not that simple to come to that simple conclusion. It wasn't simple to me, but it was. I was very proud of myself. So then we have another dude. He loved me, all of this, but he always got these life fucking tragedies and shit, the reason why we can't see each other. I'm good on that. Like, I just stopped interacting with you. We're supposed to go out on a date. You got this thing that happened, this life event here. We're supposed to see each other. We're supposed to talk. We're supposed to be talking every day. We're not talking because your girlfriend going through something. I don't give a fuck about none of that. Number one, I don't give a fuck about other bitches. Like, and I'm not putting no other bitches' feelings in life before mine. Fuck that bitch. I don't care about her. Like, I don't care about what she's going through. I'm very black and white. Are you here or you ain't? If you ain't here, I don't care. That's just what it is. And I didn't always used to be like that. I was always just too fucking humble. Like, okay, I understand. I'll put myself back. I get it. That's your girlfriend. Fuck all that. Okay. I don't care. Okay, so I was proud of that. And then, we supposed to see each other. Then you got all these problems, all this shit, man. And then he tried to make a plan again. I didn't even give it energy. I didn't even save the date in my mind that we're gonna see each other, because you ain't talking about shit. So I'm finally seeing, looking at shit for what it is and operating like that without taking any of it personally. And this is huge for my development. Like, y'all have no idea. This may seem basic to y'all, but for me, it's huge. Okay. And if y'all feel me, let me know in the comments. All right. Be sure y'all share this video. I need 5 people to share this video. Let me know in the thing and I'll shout you out or some shit like that. Okay. All right. So, so it was that. So I was proud of myself for not just entertaining dead ends. Cause I would entertain dead ends just because I didn't want to be by myself. I didn't want to be, I didn't want just anything was better than nothing for me for a long time. And it's just not true for me no more. You know what I'm saying? So that's another rekindling of the flame. Another dude, my ex-boyfriend. I told him I was in Atlanta. He ain't talking about shit. I haven't given him any energy. Thank you, Granda Michelle, for sharing. I want 4 more shares, please. 4 more shares. This is some good shit. So then we have, thank you for the hair compliment. So then, thank y'all. I love the appreciation. I love all of that. Thank you. So anyway, then I had another dude who, he says a lot of great things. Like, me and words, I'm telling you, what kept me attached to these dudes was a lot of words and very little action. Like, I'm not the same. I love that I'm not the same. And I learned that. I'm finally learning from my past relationship. And I'm so thankful for that past relationship I had in South Africa, because oh my God, all of these things came up. And I feel like I'm getting tested, like I'm getting presented with these opportunities to make new decisions in my love life. You know what I'm saying? And I'm finally getting it, I feel. Belladonna! That's one of my favorite porn stars, by the way. Monroe. And I'm from Monroe. Girl, me and you gonna be cool. So, this other dude, been knowing him for a long time. My first open relationship. Told him I was in Atlanta. He ain't talking about shit. I haven't been giving it energy. I'm not a woe with me. I'm not sending long paragraphs on his phone. You ain't talking about nothing. You ain't talking about nothing. I mean, and it's okay. People have other priorities, but I'm not interested in people with all these priorities. Okay. If I'm not one of them, the only priority I'm really caring about when it comes down to men is me being a priority. So I don't really care. It's a given. I'm recording video. I have understanding. We all have lives and all that shit. That's great, but I don't really care if I am not a priority, and if you are not showing that to me with action, then I don't care. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing to talk about. So that's like, what am I on, man number 4? Then I told you I got kicked out of that nigga house. I told you that nigga told me that I repel good men, I'm not emotionally intelligent, that I should take it personally. He would never take me seriously. He told me all of these things. That full story is on my fan, so y'all gotta subscribe to that. But that was like a direct abandonment issue thing there. For me to have a potential dude in my life, and he was actually a good catch. It was poly, money. He had money, somewhat attractive. Not really I wasn't that sexually into him. He was a little corny, but whatever. Attractive man. He was a catch, right? 40 something, no kids, single. All of these things, such a good catch. For me, I need y'all to hear what I'm saying about my journey with abandonment. You need to hear what I'm trying to say. For me to be asked to leave a dude's house, for him to tell me I'm not the type that he would take seriously, but for him to tell me that I need to take it personally, that's like direct abandonment. That's like direct abandonment. That's direct for someone with abandonment issues, of being asked to leave. Like, he was like, I'm just waiting on you to leave. Ask me to leave. And for me to not take any of that shit personally and be able to actually empathize with him, do you understand the growth? I don't think y'all do. Are y'all feeling like how big that is for me? And for me to be able to be amused by it, for me to be able to know like the back of my hand that this doesn't mean anything negative about myself, do you know that that didn't challenge the way I viewed my worth and my value? Do you know that I didn't try to grovel or try to backtrack or try to hustle for worthiness in that moment to be chose by a dude that I didn't even really want? Do you know the growth and evolution? Do you know what it took for me to be able to just be unbothered by that? For me to process that very quickly? For me not to go home and mope about it for days? For me not to try to find a way to apologize for some shit that I did nothing wrong for? Actually, I did apologize because I was being condescending. The whole thing is I was being condescending. He was triggered, and for that he decided to say what he said. I did apologize for being condescending because I can be condescending. I own that. I can be. When I feel like I'm fucking repeating myself and I feel like I've been thorough with my communication and I've repeated it back to you, you've agreed with me, and you're still not getting it, I can be condescending. Absolutely. And that was a trigger for him. And for me not to feel responsible for his growth. All of this, let me heal him shit. That's hustling for worthiness. Like, it's nothing wrong with working together for us to heal each other. That's not what I'm saying. But it's the place that I used to come from. I was trying to desperately to present my value. So I'm trying to be the therapist, not because I care about your well-being, and maybe I do, but it's mainly because I need you to see I'm worthy of holding on to, because I don't want to be left because I have abandonment issues. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't feel the need to do any of that. His healing and his growth ain't got nothing to do with me. Okay. I could detach from that. And that was a beautiful thing. You know what I'm saying? And so, that was him. Who else? It was another dude that I met. He told me, he confessed he liked to smoke a little coke. He liked to smoke a little cocaine every now and then. And for me to just peacefully, energetically ask him to not contact me, I did it. See, what I would have normally done in that situation is, no matter whether I wanted him or not, remember, abandonment it's not logical. You don't even have to want the nigga, but you still want him to stay around so you can get that validation, right? Even if he's not good for you. So how I would have handled that before is, I meet a dude, I know it's not what I want, and he don't hit me up the next day, don't hit me up afterwards. Even if I thought it went well, I would still find a way to feel bad about myself because of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would still find a way to make it mean a bad thing about me. That is what abandonment issues are. It's a fucked up ailment, because it's all kind of fucked up shit that goes into somebody who suffers from abandonment. And for me and he was a catch too. Had money, drove a big car. He actually could have got the pussy if he wasn't on that, if I didn't know he was on that shit. He was single. You know, all of that. He had a lot of great qualities, had a beautiful ass Airbnb. I've been attracted to some bosses lately, and I'm very appreciative of it. So for me to get these higher quality of men and it not work out, and me not find a way to feel bad about myself because of it is huge. So we didn't talk, but I owned it. We didn't speak again after that, but I didn't want to speak again after that. And I put in the universe, I don't need to talk to him again, because I don't want to be tempted. You know, he told me he messed around with coke, and he invited me on a fancy date. I may want to go, and that motherfucker may have some crack rock in the car, pull over, I'm in jail. So I don't need the temptation. You know, I don't want to be tempted to go over there and fuck with that. I don't want to be in a position to try to make cocaine okay. Because sometimes you can be like that, especially when you ain't had no dick in a minute like me, and you kind of want to fuck them. So I said, I don't want us to speak anymore. And we didn't. So I took my power, and the thing we don't get about when people leave is it's always mutual anyway. It is always an energetic decision on some level that we make to separate from some people. But when you have abandonment, you don't see it that way. Nothing about abandonment issues is empowering. It's always very victim-like, and it's real to us. But and it's just not a good place to be. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't even be empowered with your decision to make another choice, because you're too busy trying to be kept, even by a nigga who would ruin your life. And I've done it so many times. Anyway, so that was that. Then then I think what happened last night. I was supposed to go and see this old dude that I used to fuck with back years ago, like at least 10 years ago or something like that. He actually one of the dudes I really had feelings for, but things changed. He got a kid now, which made him, we're not going to go anywhere with it. I don't seriously date niggas with kids, but I'm like, what, it still would be cool to see him, and I know his dick is good. We was making plans. So like a month and a half ago, we made plans. All right, I'm gonna come to Baton Rouge. We're gonna spend time together. We made the plans. I was serious about the plans. My plans ended up changing. I stayed in Atlanta a little bit longer, and then I ended up coming here to Bossier City. And then I'm just not gonna make it to Baton Rouge. You know what I'm saying? I just kind of changed my mind. I'm going all around. But last night, I told him, I'm like, well, look, I'm leaving the country soon. I'm not going to be able to go. I invited him here. He said no. I invited him over there. So this is the thing that I was just expressing to him. And a couple of days ago, I ended up telling him, I'm like, I really do feel, I feel afraid to tell you how I feel. Because you really do remember how people make you feel. He was a bit rough. He wasn't emotionally safe, really. But I do give people an opportunity to change, because Lord knows I'm nothing like I was when we met. So why would I feel like I'm the only person who's changed? But I remember how rough he got with me emotionally, like how he hurt me. I did, as I started to entertain the idea of seeing him more, I started to really remember, how he made me feel. It was good parts, but you remember all of it, right? So anyway, long story short, I just ended up sharing with him last night, I'm probably not gonna end up coming. I was like, but honestly, I didn't think you seeing me was important to you, because since the day we made the plan, it's been like a month, and he hasn't reached out to me and said anything to me. So let me ask you this: why would I make a trip to see you? Now, granted, it was going to be other people I was going to see in Baton Rouge too. But why would I feel like it's a priority to come and see you if you hadn't said anything to me in a month? We made the plans, but it had been no what's up, how are you? I was looking for consistency. So what I've learned to do is I learned to just fall back and see what men want to do. Because you just let men be free, you see what they really want to be. You see what they really want to do, right? And so therefore, I did reach out to him. I did send a last message, but it was a glitch in Facebook and he didn't get the message. But it didn't really matter to me. The point is, it had been a month since we made the plans. You hadn't said anything to me. You hadn't liked the picture. You ain't done nothing. So why would I prioritize coming to spend time with you? And you hadn't really mentioned anything. You hadn't really talked about doing nothing to help me get there. You ain't talked about paying for no gas, paying for no flight, paying for no room, or nothing. I had another nigga I was going to see in Baton Rouge. He was going to pay for my place to live. So we can think about that. But for him, I was like, I don't, I was like, that's why. I'm like, I'm not, I was like, look, that's, I would have come. I was even considering going down there to see him and using my mom's car and driving down there to just spend time with people in Baton Rouge. But I changed my mind, because I'm here for my mama. If people want to see me, they can come here. But so I didn't want to take that time away from my mom, and I'm leaving the country soon. So I told him that. I was like, look, I would have come to see you, but you hadn't really talked to me. I didn't think it was important to you to see me, because we hadn't talked. You know what I'm saying? And he was like, he just basically said I was making excuses and he got a lot going on. I'm like, okay. I don't know what you got going on have to do with our conversation. You hadn't said anything to me. It hasn't been a message. So why would I think I need to do it? Now, a couple days ago, I was telling him I told him, I was like, look, I want to come. I was like, I'm horny. I want your dick. Because I did want his dick. I was horny at the time. He was like, girl, please, you're supposed to hit me up a month ago. So he was feeling a way about, I guess, me not hitting him up or whatever it is. But it's like, I had sent the last message in my mind, because I just saw you didn't get it. But anyway, the moral of the story is, I told him how I felt. I wasn't mad. I wasn't coming at him crazy. I was just like, look, this is how I interpreted the non-communication. I was like, and really, why would I interpret it any differently? But see, that goes back to me not being in la la land. If I'm not a priority to you, if you don't feel the need to talk to me, I just don't feel inclined to go out of my way. I just don't. Like, it's real black and white. Like, And I'm sure, and I even said, I said, you know what? I think in your mind, you think we made the plans, so it's nothing to talk about. I don't see it that way. I don't see it that way. I want consistency. And I said, you know what? This ain't got nothing to do with you. This doesn't make you a bad dude. Because I don't think it makes him a bad dude. I think he's a dude who's focused on other shit. Well, that doesn't work for me. You need to be focused on me if you want me. It's simple math. You need to be focused on me in a way that I can see it. I don't really care about your thoughts on how you're dreaming about me. And I used to, oh my God, you dreamed about me. You thinking about me in your sleep. All that shit, you thinking about me. That used to be enough. Just telling me that used to feel good to my spirit. Oh, he think about me. You think about me, but what, are you talking to me? Are you around? What are you doing? Like, but that's my Pisces. That's my Pisces. My Pisces be all up in here, all up in the clouds, coming up with shit, making shit seem better than it is. But I'm not really doing that right now. I'm tapping in more my Aries side. My Aries side is like, but did you talk to me? So I told him how he's a Leo. And so he's a Leo. And so I was like, okay. And then he just ended up just shutting down, doing the same thing. And I ended up telling him a couple of days ago, I'm like, look, sometimes I'm scared to talk to you because, and he was like, why? I was like, because you can get a little rough. And he said he was sorry. And I was like, I don't want to make you feel bad, but I feel like that sometimes with you. And so, but it ended up being the exact same thing. I simply told him I wasn't nigga bitch. I was like, and I even like empathy. I was like, I can understand, I guess as a man, how you felt. You felt like we made the plans. You feel like that was there. I was like, but this has nothing to do with you. This has everything to do with me and my needs. I need consistency and communication and all of that. And if it's not there, I'm not going out my way no more. Like I'm not the same as I used to be. I'm not the gullible little tell me anything Pisces that I used to be. I'm still very much soft and sweet and gonna be a little naive, but I'm shifting out of that. And so I didn't see an incentive. It was another dude I was supposed to go and see that I met years ago. We made plans for me to see him. You know what I'm saying? And so I was like, and he just wasn't talking about nothing. So I stopped talking to him. You know what I'm saying? So it's just getting real simple. You know, that's all it is. And so, anyway, so he ended up just saying, what did he say? Well, have fun, gave me the peace sign and all of that. And I'm like, see, that's what I'm talking about. I was like, that's exactly what I'm talking about. You get rough and you get like fucking like, you get like this. And I wasn't even trying to make it a bag. I was like, it's not an attack. It's because sometimes you have to remind people it's not an attack. Because I wasn't even trying to like attack. So I was like, what was I getting ready to say? I was like, it's not an attack. What did I say? I said it's not an attack. I was like, I'm not trying to make you the bad guy. And then he was like, well, great job. I'm like, so that's how that felt to you? I was like, okay, so this is how that felt to you. And I'm asking these questions because I'm trying to actually communicate with him in a way that he can understand, in a way that we can both understand. I love to understand how a person interprets things so I can know how to operate moving forward. But I realized very quickly that it would be no moving forward. And then I just broke it down again. Then I told him how it felt. And I was just like, and I explained how I felt his side of things was. And I was like, does that make any sense or do I need to give up? He was like, give up. And so I stopped talking. So the reason why this is, and I just love it. And do y'all know how triggering this used to be for me? I used to be so triggered. Oh, he's not hearing me out. I'm being sweet and vulnerable to him. And his inability to communicate ain't got nothing to do with me. Like, and I love how, like, I'm not bothered. Like, it's like, okay, that's fine. Like, oh my God, it's a beautiful place to be. Like, and that's why I titled this video, I keep getting dumped and I love it. And realistic, I haven't really been, and like, I'm not triggered by that. Like, okay, you don't want to have the conversation. Okay. Because it's like, if you can't handle a basic ass conversation like this, it's no future. So if it's no future, it's no energy from me that needs to be given. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not going to mope around and internalize shit that has nothing to do with me. I am a great communicator. I am a great listener. I can empathize with people. I can be solution oriented in our conversation. I do see little tips like this as an opportunity to growth to move forward. If you don't see it like that, we can't even be homies. I can't even have friends who can't. If we can't have a disagreement and talk about it, it's nothing for me to give energy to. And it doesn't mean anything bad about me. And so what I did instantly is I just imagined how the man that I'm manifesting is so, what is that, Mom?
The top of her vehicle.
Oh, yay.
It has a gradual unfolding.
Okay. So I was just sitting here just thinking about how good it's going to feel, how amazing it's going to feel when my man is emotionally supportive. Because anytime that you experience something that you don't want, it's the opposite of that. It's so beautiful. So I'm thinking about, like, what does it look like? What does it look like for me to be in a relationship with a man who is emotionally fucking more than 5? You know what I'm saying? Who is emotionally mature and supportive and sweet. And it looks like him having the mentality that I do about little disagreements or even arguments or whatever. These are all meant to grow us and move us forward. So it's no copping out of something, especially something so small. We ain't even got into daddy issues and trauma and all of that. We're talking about some basic shit. We're talking about arranging a visit to see each other. And we can't get through that without you acting like a fucking kid. You know what I'm saying? So I'm excited for that. I'm excited to have someone that's going to baby me emotionally. I like to be babied emotionally. I don't... What? You need to say something?
You have to move the cover. But we're really just kind of coming down.
Okay. So... it's just a beautiful thing for me because I have so many emotionally supportive people in my life, you know, and so I know what it feels like to be emotionally supported and to be heard and for people to be able to separate the ego from your higher self, for people to be able to know that this is not an attack, you know what I'm saying? And even if they do interpret it as an attack, for people to be able just to come back around and really finish a conversation. Like to be able to really finish a conversation is something that is beautiful. It may start off with some back and forth until we get our shit together, but eventually we get on a common ground. And when you do, it's such a beautiful thing because you know the person a lot better. They know you a lot better, and the situation probably won't happen exactly the same way again. So you're moving forward. So I just started thinking about that. I started thinking about my man wiping my tears. I started thinking about, you know, a man who's patient and understanding, a man who allows me to be understanding and allows me to be empathetic for him and can feel it when I'm being sincere and can feel it when I just want to help and can feel that and reacts to me with that appreciation of that, you know. So I'm just excited about that. And so anyway, that's the short version of everything. I just wanted to say and end with me getting dumped or left or someone telling me to throw me up the peace sign and all of that. I love it now because people weed themselves out. Like we have to stop making it this big old negative thing if somebody decides they don't want to fuck with you. Because you don't want to fuck with them anyway. Because if I really am honest about all of these men, I don't want any of them anyway. Like, none of these men are the men that match what I've written in my journal. They have qualities, but none of them are exactly what I want. I didn't list one dude who can come travel with me tomorrow to go to Dubai. None of them I've talked about can do that right now. Because they got other shit going on, no money, whatever it is. So it's always mutual. If I think about the dudes who I've left or we didn't work out, if I really look at it, I didn't want them anyway. They didn't fit the long-term vision of my life anyway. They didn't fit the right now anyway. So I love being dumped. I like it. I love being left. I'm not, that doesn't scare me no more. Like it used to terrify me, but I've just removed the lie. And the lie is, if some shit don't work out, it means something bad about me. It does not. I'm not trying to say that I can't learn from it. I'm not trying to say that somebody can't point out something and I can be like, oh, you know what, I'm going to adjust that. But it doesn't mean foundationally at my core I'm flawed or cursed or doomed to be single forever. Or it doesn't mean all that shit that my trauma tells me is what I'm getting at. Okay. And I'm not somebody. If you can't communicate, I just refuse to make that my problem. I've worked pretty fucking hard to be a better communicator, and you're not gonna take my work away from me because you can't receive it. Like, that's stupid. I just love being dumped. The next man that comes on, you stay as long as you want to, and then whenever you want to go, that's fine too. Because I know on a core level it's mutual anyway. All breakups are mutual. All separations are mutual. I don't give a fuck if I'm the one crawling on my knees. When I get done crying and I really think about it, it ain't it. And I have to trust that I don't know what I don't know. And people may seem fucking perfect and shit for you, and they decide to go, it's always something in there that's a mismatch vibrationally. And we have to just get to where we trust that. And we have to get to where we enjoy that. We have to get to where it's like we have a free security team around us. A free security team that blocks, that just kind of repels. And if you have abandonment issues, you knocking over your security guards to get to the motherfucker they're trying to protect you from. But I don't really fight my protection anymore. And I've been trying to get this in my head for years. Like, this is not the first time I've said I gotta stop fighting my protection, but this is the first time I'm implementing the wisdom. Like, I'm actually not triggered by the same shit no more. He said give up. I stopped texting. He said it. It's nothing else to talk about. He don't want to talk. He don't want to hear reason. He don't want to grow from this interaction. And guess what? I don't want a nigga with kids who can't travel. So, all right, you're great on many other levels, but I don't want no nigga with no kid. I don't want you. You can't move the way I need you to move anyway. I said, you don't have a passport. It's okay that you want me to give up. And it's also, and I see why I did not feel inclined to go to see the nigga. We can't go nowhere. If you can't communicate, if I can't tell you how I feel and be heard, then we have no future. And if we have no future, I don't need to spend my present crying over you. For what? So, I've been dumped. I've been blocked. I've been kicked out of houses. And I love it. And I love it. And I love it. I love it. Thank you. That don't mean nothing bad about me. And that don't mean that I can't manifest something better in the future. That doesn't mean any of that. Like, I'm getting my power back day by day, y'all. Day by day, little bit by little bit, I'm getting my power back. And it feels really good. So, I don't know if y'all have any questions. That's all I have to say. Do y'all have any questions? Ooh. We have any questions or comments? I'm going to read them real quick before I go. Robert said, and I can't find a woman like you. Now, what do you mean by that? What do you mean by that? And yes, I still do definitely, I still have feelings for my ex-boyfriend. I'm doing better with that. The breakup process is definitely a roller coaster, but right now I'm okay. Right now I feel good. I can respect that. Dismissive. Paul is I'm gonna block you. How do I block Paul? Because he's just a ugly bitch. You met a guy that smoke weed. I prefer men who don't smoke or drink. I like my men completely sober. I'll block you in a second. What was the sign? Okay, anyway, so I don't think I have anything else to say. So I'm gonna go now. But I love y'all. I'm gonna put this on my YouTube channel. Be sure y'all follow me on my YouTube channel. Also, be sure y'all follow me. Just watch my story. Watch my story if y'all don't, because that tells y'all where to go to get the other shit. All right. Love y'all. Bye.